Hey guys, what is going on? RedMaster here, and welcome back to Cards and Castles. Today we are going to go over some patch notes, ones that are actually pretty old, about a couple days old, from Dwarves and Dinosaurs' initial release. These are all the changes that happened as soon as the expansion went live. So I just thought I'd share my thoughts on them, see what's really going on. I also will be going over the hotfixes, so that's like 2 additional cards that I'm going to be going over in this. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it and head into our first card, which will be Killer Rabbit. Killer Rabbit got the stat change to 2/7. I like this change, gives him a bit more health to survive, but it also works with the whole rampage change. He's not overpowered, but he's not underpowered. The combo is still in effect. So probably one of the more better rampage cards out there. And I think just giving him that extra health buff is just makes him that much more usable. Great trader overall, and I think the change was very good for Rabbit. Next, we're going to go into Rune Warrior. Rune Warrior, of course, got a stat change to 6/6 rather than 6/7 again. These are all like rampage changes, so the stat reduction is fine. I think it's 6/7 might have been a bit too powerful. But at 6/6, it's more easily to take care of, especially in that sort of gold range. Overall, pretty good change. Next, we go on to Fenrir. Fenrir is now is at 10 health, which again ties into the whole rampage change. But the 10 health, I think, makes this card somewhat trickier to take care of. But he's not hitting castle unless he's on his first attack, so it really puts it into perspective of what this guy can really do. So overall, a bit iffy on this change because now it's harder to deal with Fenrir. That's just me. War Party now decreased to 5 gold. I think War Party was like unusable, and it still kind of is, because with Rampage, movement is very important. So if you're taking that away, it gets harder for them to activate, really utilize Rampage to the fullest potential, which is why I don't like War Party, even if it got a cost reduction. Still just like this unusable card to me, unless you have like movement buffs that are already out, so their -1 movement is really just you taking away of swiftness that you put on it. So overall, War Party is doesn't matter to me because I don't use War Party. Next, we move on to Phantom Strike. Phantom Strike, of course, got the change to have a mage in play. Very useful, especially with Phantom Strike still being used on cards like Kraken, There's all these big guys that can basically take out your castle. Now, with the mage in play, it forced you to kind of deck build mages if you're trying to run Phantom Strike, which could be hard. Depending on what you run or want to run. I know Maddie at the moment is not the best choice anymore, but we'll get into that in a separate video. But yeah, Phantom Strike at having a mage requirement, I think, is pretty solid, especially for what Phantom Strike can do now with the castle changes. Next, we want a Chaotic Storm. Got a cost increase to 3 gold. That's perfectly okay with me. 1 damage for 1 gold. That's how I like to think of it. So, not too, feelings are kind of neutral on this change. It's fine. I'm not going to really talk about that as much though, because Chaotic Storm is really a card that hasn't really changed since the expansion release. Ronin got a health reduction to let's see, 4 HP. It looks like he also got a slight buff in attack. I think that went over in the most recent patch. There is again another patch I'm going to be reviewing. I think I'm going to end up touching on this again in that video. But basically, I think him at 4 health makes him a lot easier to deal with. Definitely can get that earlier out of the way. If you do happen to have him at 8 attack, then it sucks. But him at 4 HP makes it so it's like it's not really an excuse that you couldn't take care of it because he was 6 HP. Him being at 4 HP sort of makes him an easier target to deal with. The Imp, HP reduced to 2, and his RNG ability now can strike anywhere. So I think Imp got a good change, especially for this new health system. Him damaging a random enemy could be the castle, it could be a random building, it could be an enemy unit. So I think him just getting that bigger RNG pool makes it easier and a more balanced card than he was if he had stuck with the 2 damage to castle. Because God knows how many awakened decks would be around if this guy would hit castle only. So definitely good, limiting him or expanding his pool of RNG. Spitefish now got a stat change to 2-4. That's fine. At 3 gold, I thought he was fine where he was, but I guess now for 1 less attack, you're getting 1 extra health. So neutral change. I'm feeling neutral about this change. Nothing really big. Selhar still played a lot, so if he got his stats changed, then good for him, I guess. Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship did get a nice big change. It's renamed Doom Ship, so that's a very nice throwback to my Doom Ship deck. I don't know. I think Doom Ship was inspired by the deck. Don't quote me on this, but I have a feeling that the inspiration was in the Doom Ship deck. But regardless, it did get a attack nerf to 0, so now it can't attack for 1 turn or for any damage, and it can no longer move on the turn it's summoned. That doesn't mean you still can't use the rally effect. The rally effect is still in effect when you use Doom Ship. It just cannot be moved, which is fine because we do not want Doom Ship rushes because it is 3 gold now instead of 4, so that has a lot more possibilities. But overall, definitely like this change for the cost and the name change, as well as the ability, because it actually isn't that bad at all. Unstable Construct. Another card that did get hit in the, a card that got hit in the hotfix as well as the release patch. Basically, it's a stat change to 3-5. Kind of kills Construct. Now that it has less health, it's more easily taken care of. So you may not see Unstable Construct too much anymore. So yeah, kind of sucks. I did like Unstable Construct personally. Both using him and playing against him, because playing against him wasn't that bad. I was able to always figure out some way to sort of use his ability against him. So it's sort of sad to see this card possibly killed off. Oh, a little itch there. So yeah. Next, we move on to the guards. The guards of Hassan City guards got an HP reduction to 3. Definitely needed, because them being at 2-4 would have been a mess. It was a mess, technically. They were being thrown into every deck because of how well they can survive, and that multi-summon is not something to play around with. So, yeah, I definitely need to change the Hassan City Guard, so that gets a thumbs up. Next, we move on to Kunoichi. That says Junoichi. It says Juno. Kunoichi got a movement nerf to 2, as well as a health buff to 5. It's not bad. But her being at 2 movement definitely sort of makes her a slower target and harder to use. And definitely a bit more scary for the opponent too, because now with Kuno at 2 movement, you cannot. It's going to take some time to predict where she's moving. So a nice change. And if she had 3 movement, stealth would be a crazy thing running around in the not the leaderboards, the ladder right now. Next, we move on to Arcanon General. Got a HP increase to 8. That's still, I think, a way of pushing Last Will, to be honest. Last Will was always that sort of deck type that never took off. Seeing it at 8 has seen some Arcanon General play and Last Will decks around. So yeah, I'm feeling kind of neutral because I don't really see and or face, or use Last Will a lot. So not, very neutral about this change. Just very neutral. Next, we're moving on to Combustion. Combustion got a cost increase to 6. Perfectly fine. At 5 gold, it might have been a massive win condition, but now at 6, it's going to require an extra turn for setup, one that you maybe cannot afford. So definitely throwing in Combustion into a deck means that you are devoting a lot of your strategy into this card. Because at 6 gold, when you play it, you better have a lot of units to use it on, or else it's not going to be that useful at all. And yeah, with the 2 explosive, deserves to be at 6. Because by 6, you're either, I guess, winning when you use it and have just solidified the win, or, you're just, I don't know if you're using it correctly then, so. Definitely a good change for combustion. Next, we move on to Pyromancer. Pyromancer got a complete little revamp here. No longer has teleport or awaken. A cost jump from 4 to 6. An attack increase to 3, and a health nerf to 2, as well as explosive 1. Pretty interesting to see Pyromancer just completely taken off the awaken list. However, this kind of puts him as a regular mage unit, so getting him from Maddie isn't too bad. You're getting some value out of it. And the explosive doesn't hurt either. It's not a very powerful explosive, but it's an explosive nonetheless, so you're going to do some extra damage depending on where you're shooting Pyro's fireballs. So, overall, I think Pyromancer got he's looking better. He's looking better now, especially now he's taken out of the Awakened pool. Gives him some more freedom. Next we move on to Eternity Strike. Eternity Strike got a cost increase to 6, kind of the same lines as Combustion. If you're using this card, then you're devoting basically a turn to using this correctly, and you know, I guess you hopefully are going to be taking out a lot of things with this. So yeah, I think a lot of these cards actually have been sort of refitted to fit the 12 HP system. So I think the E-Strike is the first sort of card in that list, because there is a break in the list. So I think this is like those cards that really are meant for the 12 HP system. So 6 gold, pretty good. Lightning Mace, damage reduced to 2. That's good because, of course, 1 for 3 damage might have been a little too strong, but now it should be simpler to deal with. On the topic here, Lightning Bolt also got a damage reduction to 2. So sort of the same lines as Lightning Mace. Not really much to say here. I think these two cards are kind of both reduced to fit, again, the new health. Onslaught. Don't know why this was changed. Not too many were running it, but I guess it's got a cost increase at 3. So no longer can you play free onslaughts off of Panda, unless you have multiple pandas, in which case you can still play this card for free. But it's not bad. Otherwise, I think this is one of the changes that I'm iffy about, because I do use onslaught. Seeing it nerfed is sort of, you know, it questions what I'm going to use for focus draw sometimes. Shadow Katana, not really a user of this card, so I can't really vouch for it. Got an attack nerf to 2 attack. Isn't bad, but again, not super good. I guess, again, a lot of these things are sort of revamping to fit the new system. I keep saying this, I know, but it's kind of the truth. It's all I can really say about this. All the explanation I can give. It is a basic card, so I don't know how many people are actually running it. But good to see that that's still hit to make sure it doesn't get out of control. Ambush got a... Oh, hello. Yeah, had that one coming up. Give a stealth unit 3/4, so the attack was reduced to 3. That's totally fine. Again, sort of reinforced that we don't want a stealth meta running around. Not like one is really, so... good to see that sort of change. And on the same note, Vanishing Strike also, seeing it has similar stats to Ambush previously, it also got the same hit, being reduced to 3/4, and a unique effect, so you cannot pile on Vanishing Strikes, because Vanishing Strike is a card that is pretty used, pretty well used. So giving it that unique kind of limits it to 1 copy, so people don't overfill 1 unit with 2 Vanishing Strikes and take away half the castle. So a good catch there. Mystic Weapons got a cost increase to 4. I spelled Mystic wrong. I don't know how to do it. Yeah, to 4 gold, which isn't bad. I don't know if you could have left it there, but I guess the rebound makes it really like +2/+2 on 2 separate units. So. Again, not bad. Well scouted. Scrolling down here, Yarm Lightning. Lightning got a change to 5 gold. Again, fitting on the same lines as the rebound. You know, you're getting a free copy anyway, so I think some of the rebound cards have just got a bump up in cost. This being another sort of on the similar lines as Mystic Weapons, so not too bad. Wotan, attack reduced to 5. Kind of makes sense. You don't want a 7/5 dragon hitting face. That's kind of devastating. So putting it at 5 kind of evens it out a bit. What else? We got Flame. Flame got a one goal for 1 damage. Not too powerful. I don't see anyone really running this. Not even in the burn deck. So yeah, that's all right. Stables, right? No, Gromok. Whoops, I'm skipping over here. Gromok got a health buff to 8. Same sort of lines as Fenrir and all those other Rampage cards. Sort of re-outfitting it just to accommodate for that Rampage change. Not too much else to say. I think he's still good. Maybe not as good as 5/9, but still definitely usable if you were making maybe a focus deck, because no one wants to touch that gorilla. Aeroth no longer can affect other apologies for that. His initiative no longer affects himself, so he's stuck as a 2/4/4 movement, but he still gives all your other dragons +1 in attack and movement, so not bad. I think Aeroth was a little abusable, so seeing him have this change is definitely a bit more control over dragons. Now we'll move on to Stables, which has got a cost increase to 3. Again, pretty good where you have the new spawn points. Don't want that movement getting abused too much, so pretty good there. Banners of Justice got a cost reduction to 3. Quite interesting. So you're either playing really Stables or Banner. Maybe Stables then Banner, so I guess that's a little buff up to Knights there. Probably going to see that running around sometime in the future. Spiny, the notes here are wrong. This was actually a card that was changed again today. Spiny did have 3 HP according to this. His stat changed from 1 to 1/3. Now it's 1/2. Great. Spiny was being abused a little bit earlier on because no one wanted to touch him. So yeah, I think at 2 health he's a bit more easily taken care of than what he was when he was 1/3. Lava Font got a damage reduction to 2 as well as a health reduction to 6. Good. Don't want to have obstacles spam everywhere, even though they kind of still are running around everywhere. So yeah, a little control on obstacles there. Sentry Golem also kind of got changed today, so these notes are a bit off. Deflect, so that means no longer can enemy spells targeted, so it's no murder can be affected on it. Awaken, gain 4/3. As you can see, no movement buff as well, so he's really just a 2 movement body walking around awakened for about 4/8. So reawakened, it's gonna probably something be like 8/11. So really don't want this guy reawakening because he could be some trouble. But again, that movement buff sort of makes him sort of a slow guy, so you can have time to deal with him. But definitely it questions whether or not you can use him in an awakened deck because of how slow he could be, or unless you still want to use him, which is fine. Swiftness cost increased to 2, probably accommodating for the new spawn system and how movement could be abused, so a little extra gold cost doesn't hurt. Eye of Dominion, cost reduced to 2 gold. It's Eye. What do you want me to say? Moving on. Harmonic Balance. I kind of lost my train of thought there. The effect for both attack and health was reduced to 2, and the cost is increased to 4. Don't want Harmonic Balance being sort of run everywhere, seeing as how the castle, again, low health, so you're kind of evening out some of these spells. Good change on Harmonic Balance. And finally, Kuro has a cost increase to 5, again reinforcing the fact that we don't want a super stealth meta running around, so him at 5 gives your opponent a bit more time to maybe gain some control of the board. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That wraps it up for the expansion release patches. Now, I will be launching another video, it's probably already up, covering patches that went over today, July 30th. So make sure to check that video out, and yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, please make sure to give it a like, share with your friends, and comment down below what you think of these changes. Use promo code RedMaster to get you 5 free card packs if you haven't already used the code yourself. And if you are new to the channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Show your support to the channel. All you gotta do is hit that subscribe at no cost to you. So, until next time, guys, stay gaming.